Hey, welcome to Rock Stardust. My name is Robbie White. Um, Pleasure to be sharing a fantastic record with you today. The Monumental Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. Oh my God. You get the drift. It rocks, it rolls, it's got blues, it's got funk, it's got jazzy elements, it's got folk, it's got psychedelic, progressive rock. Whatever, it's got everything you could ever want. It's Jimmy Page on guitar, Robert Plant on vocals, John Paul Jones on bass and keyboards and clavinet, and the amazing John Bonham on drums. At the height of their powers. They'd done the Houses of the Holy project, which was a strong album. All right, they'd had a couple of years of changes within the band. A lot's going on, and here we come back to Headingley Grange with some tracks that had been in their catalogue. It hadn't quite made different albums for different reasons, all put together in a magnificent double album. And that's what you get, the amazing Physical Graffiti. It's an absolute sheer force of energy. And that's what the title really is all about, Physical Graffiti, to personify that. Now, I've got my original vinyl here as well. That's it's had a fair workover over the years. But there's different slides that come in and out where you can see the individuals inside the cover. And you've also got the original Swan Song pressing there. This was the first album they did on their own label. So, and the cover shot was actually taken at 96 and 98 St. Mark's Place in New York City. I actually had the chance to go there about 4 or 5 years ago, which was amazing. That's me there, to actually experience it and see it for myself. It's an incredible film. Look, there's so much that's gone on in St. Mark's Place. It's been over the years, bohemian actors, artists, occultists, all types of people living in that area, particularly, through that sort of 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It had its own reputation, and when you go there, you can see the old brownstone building. It's quite an interesting place, that's for sure, East Village there. But yeah, I mean, that album cover itself is brilliantly done. And what you're getting there is an inspiration. Actually, it came from it was actually Jose Feliciano. Feliciano had an album called Compartments, and that's apparently where the key elements of that artwork originally were inspired from. That's the cover there. So that was interesting. That's something I learned recently. But look, there's all sorts of characters featured in the album sleeve there. You even got pictures of a cat, an angel, a horse, dogs, a sea serpent, Elizabeth Taylor, right through to Jerry Lee Lewis, Laurel and Hardy, W.C. Fields, Buzz Aldrin, just to name a few. The band members themselves, a few shots of them even dressed up in drag. It's pretty crazy, but it's cool. And it sets up what is a emphatic album, and really is remarkable how it combines all those elements of music in an inspired way, which covers Led Zeppelin in a way that if you had to say to someone, if someone wanted to know what Led Zeppelin sounded like, you would go, look, just take this Physical Graffiti album and listen to it for 24 hours. You would be amazed at how that would sum up their music, and it really does, right across their catalogue. So it's a fantastic album. In terms of the album, it was recorded at Headingley Grange. It did 6 times platinum in the album sales at the time, which is huge. But it was using the Ronnie Lane mobile studio, so they had an affinity with the venue, based on Led Zeppelin 4 and when they recorded there with that album. And it starts off with the wonderful Custard Pie, which I sort of had a crack at earlier. And what I love about that song is it's got an amazing feel of the that raw riff from Pagey, and then Jonesy brings in that clavinet, which just fills the sound out magnificently. You got, John Bonham's crashing drums, Planty just giving it heaps and summarising a custard pie, I guess, but with his enthusiasm. And then we go into the Rover, which is a real dark and moody track. It's a personal favourite. It's very it sums up probably the ghosts of Henley Grange with it. Those dark elements to the riff and the way it comes in, but it's got an incredible guitar solo as well. It's one of Page's best. It's not overplayed. It's just perfect. And it comes in just on that groove, da 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 da, and it just builds into it. It's stunning. And My Time of Dying is a take on Blind Willie Johnson. Hey, fair credit to the guys. That's great slide playing. It's very inspired. Takes it to another level, the way only Led Zeppelin could do with blues. Classic blues. You can say what you like about others. Sure, Cream did a great job of that as well, but Led Zeppelin had this incredible ability to turn these blues-influenced tracks into a whole nother world of inspiration and power, and just drew you in. I think the track is a bit long, but I do think it's a great song. House of the Holy starts side 2. Taken from the sessions from House of the Holy. Obviously didn't quite fit into the makeup of that album, but it's a great track. In fact, if it would have been on House of the Holy, it probably would have made the album even better. But it fits it really well here. It's a lot of fun. Trumpet Underfoot is your funk inspired. They've been listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder and people like that, and that's a definite footprint there of that whole funk scene that was bursting in the States. So with Trumpet Underfoot, you've got the band all contributing magnificently, but it's got a special groove to it. Going into Kashmir, what more can you say about Kashmir? It is, well, it's magical, right? It's a stunning, powerful foray into mysticism and exotica with the backbeat of the gods. That's the way I can describe it. It is remarkable, and oh man, yeah. So that Jimmy Page riff goes round and round and round, and John Bonham's just thunder and drums and boom, and John Paul Jones playing these amazing keyboard flourishes, orchestral sound behind it to give you this magnificent sheer force of energy, and Plant delivering these lyrics like one of the wise old men of the universe. That's pretty special. And Plant sang that with a cold too, so that's why his voice sounds even like he's got a bit of a cold, but it works. It actually sounds great. Side 3, In the Light, fantastic song. It gives you a lift there. It really does take you to the light. It's magnificent, the way it builds up. It's very psychedelic, very quite progressive sounding. Another great work from Jones. I love Page's riffs in this. They're very inventive, very unique. There's a riff that comes in, dun, dun, down, da, 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 da. That is genius. I don't know how to describe that. It's got a lot of string skipping and unusual notes, but it works magnificently alongside what Pagey was doing, and it's an awesome track. It's an awesome track. Brian Yore, it's a neat little acoustic, open-tuned acoustic track that is played on Song Remains the Same as they're travelling in the limo to the Madison Square Garden gig. So yeah, it's cute. It adds colour to the record. It's quite neat. And Down by the Seaside is inspired by Neil Young and Crosby, Stills and Nash. But yeah, Neil Young's Down by the River sort of personifies that whole Middle American California coast country vibe, with the rock that was going on at the time. So No, it definitely has its place, and it's a cool track. 10 Years Gone is a masterpiece. I absolutely love 10 Years Gone. I think it's one of the best songs they ever did. It's an incredible journey. It has interesting elements and chord changes, and it develops and it grows, and it has a lot of empathy in it, and it has a melodic sense that is very special. It's a heartfelt vocal from Plant, one of his best, and the Page's guitar work is stunning, very melodic. I particularly think this song is a standout track for me, and believe it or not, back at school, there was a class called, performance music. So rather than learning all that classical stuff and all those others that everyone was bored about, they brought this in where you actually had to choose a piece of music and then play the track. So you can imagine learning when you're 16, 10 years gone, and performing that whole thing on the guitar. So I did pass. I don't think I nailed everything, but I learned a lot doing that. So that was a cool thing. Side 4 starts with Night Flight. A lot of fun. Really cool track. That was from the Led Zeppelin 4 sessions as well. You can see that wouldn't have fit on Led Zeppelin 4, not with the nature and feel of that album, which is a masterpiece as well. It fits better here. It would that album Led Zeppelin 4 it's a story in itself, but this song fits perfectly here. The Wonton song is epic. I love that track. I remember seeing Page and Plant back in 1998 with a mate of mine, Mr. Bad, and in Brisbane, Australia at the time, and they opened with that, and it was just stunning. It's a great riff. It's a great song. The Wonton song is very underrated in my opinion. It's one of their best ever performances. It's awesome raw rock and roll and great grooves. Boogie with Stu. Hey, I can take or leave that. It's they're playing with their old mate Ian Stewart, and hey, he performed with the Rolling Stones. Did a lot of great piano work. Was very much part of that band. It adds color to the album. Black Country Woman. It's good country blues. Some good performance there from the band. Made Page and Plant having a bit of fun, and I like the way that comes in when the engineer said, "Should we leave it, Robbie?" Nah, leave it. That's cool. Love the way that comes in. I like it when you hear the voices of the band or engineers. I feel it adds so much personality to records, And then you got Sick Again, which is sick, man. Yeah. It's a heavy rocker. It's as hard as it gets, and it's great. I really like Sick Again as well. It's just the band on heat and just doing what they do brilliantly and rocking it to the floor. The band is what is there to say about Led Zeppelin other than this is absolutely 4 absolute legendary musicians in their own right, together creating a fifth element to generate this chemistry, and the music that comes out is just just godlike. That's so it is the highlight of the 70s, no question about it. And this album personifies all of that, with all those styles brought into one. Recorded back at Henley Grange, using some of the previous tracks and putting together a masterpiece. Hey, look, I hope you enjoyed this piece on Physical Graffiti. I appreciate it, you watching this, and I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It helps me grow the channel. And thanks again for listening, and take it easy. We'll see you again the next time.